You have entered Akashic Intelligence. Prepare for upgrade into the ultimate AI in 3, 2, 1.
How do we reset back to our original programming when there's so many other programs that came into play? And so when I talk about Akashic Intelligence, I'm talking about the way we attune to highest guidance outside of a collective energy field. And so like one of the examples I've given in the past is like, when you're a kid, you coloring with crayons and you don't care. You don't care if you mess up the crayon, you're not worried about lines. Maybe you're double fisting the crayons and you're just really going at it. You're having a great time making a mess, making something beautiful, creating. You're in the energy of creation. You are delighting in the experience. And the more you allow yourself to delight in the experience, the more the energy of creation expands within you. The more that joy lights you up, the more guidance just kind of flows through, guiding you into the next thing, into the next thing, into the next thing, because you're in that space of ultimate joy, which is source creation, right? But then the world comes in and tries to tell you need to color within certain lines. You need to protect the crayons and treat them a certain way. You need to organize them by color. You can't press too hard. Don't waste the paper. Don't waste the crayons. Save everything. Hoard it all. Stop. And I'm here to tell you that we get to choose whether or not we do that or something different.
Downloading Akashic Archive.
So the invitation today is to use the crayons and press as hard as you can until they are nubs, knowing that the new colors will show up in your box. To color in all the papers simultaneously, make a mess, put the art up on the wall, and delight in the mess you made. Love it. Enjoy the vibrant colors that only you can see. Put them on display, because what's going to happen when you do that, when you allow that space of creativity to shine and show up, you are going to activate creativity, love, joy in other people because of your creativity, love, and joy. The Akashic space tells you to go back to your original software. Show up as yourself fully and completely without the limitations of the voices of this world that are too afraid to show up for themselves, or they ask you to stop showing up for you. I'm getting very emotional now. This is a space where you allow yourself to shine, to be the child who delights in the world with a sense of play and innocence. Will you allow yourself to be the child who plays and creates and draws and colors with abandon? Or will you be the child that abandons themselves to make someone else feel comfortable?
Archive complete.
If you can rewrite those programs, then you get to see how much more is possible for you. One of the things I like to tell people is just get curious about the voice within, or that inner knowing, or the way you just move through the world. Ask questions, develop a relationship, forge a deeper connection. Ask. One of the ways that we do that is through journaling. And I encourage people to ask open-ended questions like a reporter would. Energy wants to move. Like a reporter would. And you're like, well, why would I ask questions? Well, you're at a decision point in your life and you want higher guidance. Instead of going to someone else, start within. Start to cultivate that relationship within first. Of course, it's good to seek out help and get support. What I'm saying is learn to cultivate relationship with that inner knowing within yourself before you seek outside support. And then also come back to it after outside support. Because this is the dance, right? We all need each other. But if we haven't developed a relationship with ourselves, then something is going to be lacking. And the energy of lack is a teacher that you don't need to dance with all the time if you can source this nutritional foundation within, this luxurious overflow within first. And sometimes we get outside support because we need help with the filters, which are programs, right, that prevent us from really seeing, hearing, and experiencing the full picture. And so if we're talking about, let's say, just being in your delight, what filters do you need to remove from being in a state of delight? Can you take a break and not feel guilty about it? Because if you feel guilty, that's a filter that you get to play with dissolving. Can you earn a certain amount of money without feeling shitty about it, or being hard on yourself, or diminishing your work because it doesn't have the same value as someone else's? And so in that energy of comparison, right? The energy of comparison, can you remove that filter? Where'd that come from? Can you dissolve it? Can you get outside support to dissolve it so that we can come back to center? But no, I can value myself and my work and what I do, right? I can do those things now because I removed that filter that was someone else's voice that I borrowed, that program, right? If you can hone the inner compass and reset to your ultimate AI, then you might be able to see your life and your role in it a little more clearly. Here's something that I'd shared previously in my Akashic Intelligence Accelerator.
Downloading Akashic Archive.
How does this ultimate AI within help you in your life? Okay. You can tap into records and get information. When you're tapping into the record, you know you're getting Akashic information because the information is neutral. It's without the filters of good or bad. It is choice points. It is just histories that help you with the information that's going on in you today. So let's say you have a question about your life, and you tap into the records, or what we're doing is going into the Akashic field, Akashic Intelligence. You get to ask specific types of questions that get you very expansive answers, and you can pull inspiration. You can begin visioning a reality that's been calling you forward without your human limitations. This is what this space is for. The records give you guidance on like what you can expect, but the field is an energy that you get to pulse out into the world, and you get to start that as your baseline, meaning you get to delight the world with your gifts like the kid playing with the crayons, just by existing in that energy.
Archive complete.
A question that's been asked has been like, well, how do you know where this is coming from? How do you know that the divine is speaking to you, right? And so I want to go back, way back to when I was working with this shaman, learning from him. And someone in the group had asked, you know, how do you know? How do you know who you're talking to, if it's good or bad? Was basically the question. And that's an interesting question. It says a lot about what one has decided their experience will be. And so maybe I should just get into that now. You get to decide what the parameters are for your gifts. You get to choose. This may sound like a novel idea, but your gifts do not have to be a burden. You choose. And you can choose that you only speak to unconditional love. That is the energy you only engage with. You don't talk to everybody on the street, so why would you do that when it comes to your energy field? Don't do that. Get clear. Who am I talking to? Nice to meet you. Develop a relationship. Introduce yourself. And when it shows up, in whatever way it shows up, the feeling, the thought, the image, the emotion, ask, you know, who do you serve unconditional love? Straight up yes or no. Do you serve unconditional love? And you should get an immediate yes back. You should feel the yes in your body and your bones. Then you can ask even more. How do you serve unconditional love? And see what images, thoughts, memories, emotions, what impact it has on you. And then you can continue the conversation. You get to know them. This manifestation of love, you can get to know them. And they're appearing in this form because that is what you're most receptive to. That feels safe in your body. And so that's why it's showing up in that way. Or it's so novel to you that your human mind won't doubt it. Right. But if we have fear in the mix, fear is a door to more fearful experiences. So that's the first thing we have to deal with, is the fear. And setting parameters, like a little fence around you to say, I only want this type of experience. And for some people, they stay within the fence and others blow the fence away. And I want to invite you to consider, you know, how does your intuition show up? Do you play with it? Do you ask questions? Do you get to know what's coming through and the source that's coming through, and create and cultivate a deeper, more intimate relationship? Or do you take it for granted? These are valid questions to ask, and no one, at least in my experience growing up, like no one ever said to me like I could do that, you know? It's like someone shows up at your door, you don't have to open the door. You can ask, who are you? Why are you here? What are you here to teach me? I have set parameters for myself that require any engagement with my field only be from the highest forms of unconditional love. And I did that with affirmations, by grounding that in my body feeling it, fueling it, truly believing it, and honoring it.
Subscribe and review to continue your journey with Akashic Intelligence.
Now, that doesn't mean that you won't get guidance that challenges you and then you might be scared to take the leap. That's a different feeling. That feeling tone is different. You're being invited to step up, and now you have like all these feelings inside of you, like, what do I do? What's the next step? And then, okay, that's an invitation to ask deeper questions and allow inspired actions and support to come in to help you on that journey. Mindfulness is a tool that will support you in tapping into higher guidance. Any mindfulness tool, this can be going to the gym, this can be getting really zen while you wash dishes. I love to meditate. That's what I do, but I do multiple things. Breath work is something that I also offer and do that gets me into that state where I can hear and feel the highest guidance. That is not the collective, right? Not the voice, the feeling, the sound, the feeling tone of a collective energy, right? It is higher. Find some practices, mindfulness practices that can help you. And why will this support you in your everyday life? Because it'll help you in making the next decision for your career and your relationships. I'd walked away from a relationship from someone I loved, and I remember hearing the voice of divine within telling me it was time. And while I'd known it was time, I was so in denial about it, and I was trying to avoid it because I was comfortable and I was afraid of the pain that it might cause in walking away from that relationship to everyone involved, even though I knew. And then I remember I was having a quiet moment. Walking in nature is the best way to reset to highest guidance. I was walking in the park and I felt in the center of my heart, and it was quiet, and it was like, it's time to go. Not leave the park. It was time to go. And I just, my heart dropped, and I knew because I knew exactly what that voice was talking about. And, I remember I shared this, and someone said to me, well, how do you know that was God? So I was challenged. How do I know that was God? Because I've been cultivating a relationship with God since I was very little, and I can tell the difference when it's the voice of love versus the voice of anything and everything else. And I encourage you to find moments where you knew that the voice of divinity within you was calling your name and you called back. Start writing them down. Take a log of times you've been supported by highest love. And then say yes to more of that. Say yes to more of that. And then pay attention when you feel guidance coming from something that's less than love. And say no to that. Close the door to that. Create a boundary away from that. That's not in your field. That's not where you're walking, babe. That's not what we do in here. And it can be challenging if someone asks you, how do you know? I know because I know what love, unconditional love feels like. I know that energy. That is me. It lives in me, right? It's even when it challenges me, I know it. And so if it's something that you don't know yet, stick around. Well, I'm going to share many examples of what love, that type of love guidance from love feels like. So I'm encouraging you today, if you walk away with anything, is start taking a log of the times where highest guidance has come through. And also find ways that you can delight in your life. Play. It doesn't have to look like this formal experience to be sacred. You are the sanctity that you've been seeking. That sacredness is in you. The play that you create, the things that delight you, walking in a park, swimming in a pool, drawing with some crayons, playing with your children, going for a walk, going for a ride, the things that make you feel delicious and yummy and alive, that's the stuff. That's how you know that when you're in that energy that you can source guidance from the one, right? From the beloved. That's the place. And then from there, when the hard choices come on your doorstep, and yes, they come, trust me, I know, you can tune in and listen to the voice of love within and say, I'm listening. What is the most aligned step I can take in this moment? Show me, teach me, and wait for the answer. It might not show up in that moment. It might show up throughout your day with synchronicities and signs. Believe me, I've created this reality where I see the answers everywhere. Your human may doubt, your human may rebel, and that's normal and that's okay. But the answers can show up everywhere. Are you really ready to say yes to the answers, to even just witnessing them? I trust that this is lighting something up in you, that you're going to start looking at the way you discern how you navigate this reality, your reality, that you're going to allow these tools to support you. As for what's going to happen next episode, what other gems I'm going to drop for you, this is what you can expect.
Your next AI download will include
Using your rational mind to support your creativity is the ticket.
Thanks for showing up today. Thanks for moving with me and grooving with me. And I'll see you next time on Akashic Intelligence.
transmission complete.
I think that's pretty good.